We have been working on main idea. Yesterday, you guys did a fantastic job of sorting your main idea and your details. If you turned that in to me yesterday, it has already been graded and returned back to you. Remember, if you get a grade that you feel you can do better on, you can always take the time to redo that assignment, and I will be happy to regrade that for you, okay? Today, to get us warmed up, we are going to take a look at our main idea song. So we have a vocabulary with main idea vocabulary getting us ready. We're going to take a look at that today. Let me share my computer sound. There we go. All right, beautiful.
All right, class, I know you're ready for the weekend. Don't forget about your 5-page paper, and make sure that you express your main idea and back it up.
Listen up, lend me an ear. The hot new thing is the main idea, supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. Yeah, come on, lend me an ear. The hot new thing, main idea, supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. Have you ever read something and when you got to the end, you didn't get the point? Nope, you didn't understand. Well, let me break it down for the next time you read. There's gonna be 3 basic things you see: the subject, main idea, and the details. Sorta like a city, the house, the people. The subject is the broad thing that it's about. The main idea, what's that now? It's the main thing the writer wants to say. It's the central point. You get it? Okay. You can often find it in the first couple lines, but it could be anywhere, so go find it. It's supported by specific details. The fact be real, they should add up to make the main idea, kids. They form up like cheerleaders in the pyramid. Like I just read an article called Bare Facts, and it talked about how they could be brown or black, polar or grizzly or another type. They're all good hunters and they know how to fight, cause they have big paws so they can catch fish, and big sharp teeth that they eat with. And if they want to climb a tree to find something to eat, their super sharp claws are all that they need. See? Now let's break it down. I mean, let's dig deeper in the article I found. What's the subject? And what would be the main idea they had there? The bears are good hunters, that's most important. And how about the details they had to support it? They have large teeth, paws, and claws. And that's how you know hunting is a bear's job. Listen up, lend me an ear. The hot new thing is the main idea, supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. Yeah, come on, lend me an ear. The hot new thing is the main idea, supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. I just read a story about a boy named Ben on the first day of school. Well, what happened then? Ben clutched his new backpack and walked in with a big smile when he saw his old friends. Tried to play it cool when he saw his old crush, but when she was close, his mind turned to mush. He liked his art teacher, that class was real fun, and was so worked up that he could hardly eat lunch. Now, what's the subject? Ben's first day of school. And what's the main idea? What's the author want to prove? Ben's first day of school was exciting. Details to back that up, where are they hiding? When Ben saw his old friends, he was psyched, and he was nervous around the girl that he liked. He even had a backpack that was brand new. Now I get the main idea, can you?
All right, so as we are reviewing main idea, remember there are some vocabulary words that will help you be successful. They are main idea. This is the most important idea in a text. We know that this picture's main idea is pizza. Even though there's a serving tray, even though there's a tablecloth, even though there's a thumb, this picture is mostly about pizza. We know that because of the key details. These are the ideas in the text that explain the main idea. The pizza toppings are the key details because they explain the main idea. We know this is pizza because of what we see on top. We did a nice job yesterday of separating key details from important details. Or I apologize, key details from just details. So important details from just things that are in the story. Just like this. There's a serving tray and a thumb. It's true, but it doesn't help us with the pizza. The pepperoni, the olives, the green pepper, the cheese, that is important. That helps us. Support. Just like legs support a table, it means help. So key details support the main idea. They give you more information about the text. Recount means to remember and tell again. So we recount the key details and keep them separate from the other details that don't matter much. We do that by looking at evidence. Evidence supports the main idea. It is the proof or information that something is true. Okay? These vocabulary words can be very helpful to you. Are there any questions about vocabulary words before we move on? Okay, awesome. All right. We are getting ready to move on to our video lesson today. This video lesson comes from Miss Sharp, and she is going to show us how to find the main idea of a non-fiction text. So a text that is about a real-life subject matter. Today, that's going to be about plants, as that is our science focus. Please watch how she finds the main idea, because that is what you will be practicing today.
Hello again, third grade. It's Miss Sharp here. We are continuing our practice of reading learning target 3, RN 2.2, determine the main idea of a text, recount the key details, and explain how they support the main idea. We have worked on determining the main idea of a text, and we've worked on recount key details in the text. Today, we are going to put both of those together, and you are going to be determining the main idea of a text and recounting the key details to explain how they support the main idea. Remember, we're back here with our idea of a table. The main idea is the most important idea in the section of a text, and it is supported by textual details. We're looking for that main idea, the reason that we have the table, to use it to set things on and to work on. But we also want to find out what are those supporting details, those legs that are holding the main idea up. How do I find the main idea in a text? Let's review. A main idea is what the text is mostly about. We can find this by asking ourselves, what is this mostly about? Look at the title of the text. Look at the pictures if there are some. Look for words repeated over and over. Sometimes the main idea is either the first or last sentence in the text. And don't get distracted by interesting information that doesn't support the main idea. Let's review, how do I find the supporting details in a text? Details are sentences that tell more about, describe, or explain the main idea. In this example down here, the main idea is that bats are unusual animals. So our 3 details support how they are unusual. The first detail is that bats are flying mammals. Mammals are not flying, but bats are, so that makes them unusual. Bats use echolocation to find food. Most mammals do not use echolocation to find food, so that also makes them unusual. Detail 3 is that bats hang upside down when they sleep. Most animals also do not do that, so that also makes them an unusual animal. Today we're going to be practicing this with this text right here. This text is what are the functions of plant parts. I'm going to start by reading the introductory paragraph up here. While everyone sees that trees and plants grow, how this process occurs is not as evident. Plants have parts that contribute to their life and growth. Most plants engage in photosynthesis, the process that allows plants to take energy from the sun and create sugars, according to Biology for Kids. And then continue on to these next sections. Roots. The roots of a plant grow in the ground and are responsible for pulling both water and minerals to the plant. They expand in the ground to increase the surface area for water absorption. They also anchor the plant into the ground for stability against wind and other forces. Stem. The plant stem transports the nutrients and minerals through the plant up to the leaves. The leaves are the location for photosynthesis. After photosynthesis occurs, the stem is responsible for carrying the food through the rest of the plant. Stems grow upwards, allowing leaves at the bottom of the plant to reach sunlight for food production. Leaf. The leaf is responsible for catching sunlight and allowing both air and water to enter the plant. Leaves can be simple, with one leaf connected to the plant or compound, where a leaf is connected at one point, but has numerous leaflets on it. Leaves have veins inside them to allow nutrients and water to flow. Flowers. Flowers are the part of the plant that is responsible for making the food. The flower has both female parts, called the pistils, and male parts, called the stamens. They work together to fertilize the plant and produce seeds. The petals of a flower attract other insects, such as butterflies and bees, to the plant to pollinate them. So now I'm going to go back to my tools and tips for finding the main idea in a text. What is it mostly about? Look at the title of the text. There are no pictures. So I'm going to look for words repeated over and over. And then sometimes the main idea is either the first or the last sentence in the text. So here the topic says, what are the function of plant parts? So I'm going to look at this topic set paragraph up here. While everyone sees the trees and plants grow, how this process occurs is not as evident. Plants have parts that contribute to their life and growth. Well, plants have parts that contribute to their life and growth. The rest of this talks about plants, and it talks about different parts of the plants and what they do. It talks about what the roots do, what the stem does, what the leaves do, and what the flowers do. So I am going to say that this is the main idea of the text. Plants have parts that contribute to their life and growth. So I'm going to type that here into the main idea. So now I'm going to look for 3 supporting details, and I'm going to see if I can find 3 plant parts that contribute or add to how a plant's life and how it grows.
Are there any questions about how she figured out that the main idea was about plant parts giving it life and letting it grow? Questions about that? Okay, so remember, as she's searching for details now, there's a lot of information in that story. She's going to look for parts from the text that are directly connected to plant parts living and growing. It's got to be those 3 things. So it's some type of plant part that helps it live and grow. When we did this a while ago, a lot of people were saying things like sunlight, water, and soil. Someone explain, why is sunlight, water, and soil not connected to plant parts helping the plant grow? Think about that. Plant parts, sunlight, water, and soil. When you look up at the sun, raise your hand if you see a plant. When you look at the sun, y'all see a big green plant in the sun? Nope. Okay. What about when you look at water? So it's raining. Are there plants falling from the sky? Nope. Okay, what about when you look at dirt? You pick up some mud. Is that mostly made of plants? No. So are sunlight, dirt, and water parts of a plant? No. Those are things that plants need, but they are not parts of a plant, okay? So this main idea has to be about parts of a plant, so things that are on a plant that help it grow, not what it needs to grow. We know that plants need sunlight, but the sun is not attached to a plant, okay? So it's looking for specific parts of the plant that are going to help it, all right? Let's continue on.
Well, I've got 4 sections here. I've got roots, that's a plant part, stem, leaves, and flowers. So I'm going to start with this section here about the roots. The roots of a plant grow in the ground and are responsible for pulling both water and minerals to the plant. They expand in the ground to increase the surface area for water absorption. They also anchor the plant into the ground for stability against wind and other forces. So I'm going to find one thing in here that roots do, but going back to that main idea, that helps contribute or add to the plant's life and growth. Well, I know that all living things need water, and here it says that the roots of a plant grow in the ground and are responsible for pulling both water and minerals to the plant. So that seems like a very important key detail about the roots. So I'm going to add that in here as one of my supporting details. Roots pull both water and minerals to the plant, because I know that animals and plants cannot survive without water and food. So that is an important detail. Next, I'll go down back to the stem. The plant's stem transports the nutrients and minerals through the plant up to the leaves. The leaves are the location for photosynthesis, but that's not about the stem, so I wouldn't consider that important for this section. After photosynthesis occurs, the stem is responsible for carrying the food through the rest of the plant. That seems very important because I know that it's going to need to get to other places. So right there, the stem is responsible for carrying the food through the rest of the plant. I think that is also a supporting detail. The stem is responsible for carrying the food through the rest of the plant. Now I'm going to look for one more supporting key detail to how plants have parts that contribute or add. I'm going to add that in here, contribute or add to their life and growth.
Okay, so let's take a look again at exactly what she is talking about, because I want to make sure we understand that there is a difference between what's happening this week and what we messed up on last week. So this is about roots. That is the plant part. This is about the stem. That is the plant part. It does talk about water and it does talk about food. And that's okay because it's connected to the part of the plant. If we just said plants need water, water is not a part that helps the plant. It's something that it needs, but it's not a part. So because we have the name of the plant parts here, we can say that this is attached to the main idea because it has parts. Okay? Are there any questions on that? I'm scanning through. Questions on how we know the difference between what a plant needs and what the parts are? Terrence?
My question is not about that.
Okay.
Have it stuff.
Let's stay on topic right now. We'll take other questions at the end. All right, let's watch the last see what her plant part is. I got some feedback going on here. Let me get some people muted. There we go. All right, here we go.
So let's go down to the leaf. I remember up here it says something about how the leaves are the location for photosynthesis. So let's see if we can read more about that. The leaf is responsible for catching sunlight and allowing both air and water to enter the plant. I know that living things need air and water, so that is an important part that can contribute or add to its life. Let's see if there's more. Leaves can be simple. They have veins inside to allow nutrients and water to flow. So I'm going to take that bit up here that was right up here. The leaf is responsible for catching sunlight and allowing both air and water to enter the plant. I know that is important for the survival of all living things. I'm going to change it to say the leaf catches sunlight and allows or lets air and water enter the plant. But right there, that is 3 supporting details to my main idea about how plants have parts that contribute or add to their life and growth. This is how you find the main idea and supporting details in a multi-paragraph text.
Okay. What questions can we answer about how to find the main idea of a text and connect details to the main idea? Okay. All right, I'm going to show you your assignment today. For about 10 minutes, you're going to be working with others in a breakout room. You will not finish in 10 minutes, and that is okay, but you can get a very good start, okay? So your Seesaw assignment is main idea lesson task 7. The main idea video that we watched is right here in case you feel that you need more time, and your directions are here. Read slides 1, 2, and 3. So when I start my response, the first thing that I need to do is read. So in my group, we will read page 1. We will read page 2. We will read page 3. There will be words that you don't know, like this is a very funky word. Do your best and move on. If it's not important to the text, you'll be able to figure out the meaning from other words around it, but you'll still be able to understand the main idea, okay? So you're gonna read 1, 2, and 3. Then think about what you learned from the text and determine the main idea. So after your group has read slides 1, 2, and 3 together, you're going to talk, what was this whole thing talking about? And remember, we are not going to say plants. That's a topic. We need specific information, okay? So specific information about the plants. What is this teaching us about plants, okay? We know it's about plants, that's a topic. What is it saying specifically, okay? 3, on slide 4, use the label tool to write the main idea. So we're going to go to slide 4. We're going to use the label tool and say the main idea is, and then you're going to fill in the blank. You might get this portion done with your group as well. So you might be able to say the main idea with your group. Then it says use the label tool to write your 3 key details. Remember, that means important. I don't just want 3 random details, details that are connected to the main idea in your own words. That means not copying the text. In your own words. That means you got to tell me what it means, okay? Use the mic to explain how your key details support your main idea. Push the check to submit. You will not get done with this in 10 minutes. If you work really well, you'll probably be able to get 1, 2, and 3 done. And then you'll need to complete 4, 5, 6, and 7 on your own time during work time, okay? Questions on the expectation? All right. I'm going to send you into some new breakout rooms. In your breakout room, you are going to be reading the text and you are going to be coming up with the main idea. Remember, the main idea is not plants. The main idea is going to be what the text is about specifically, okay? All right, I'm going to pop you into those rooms. You have about 10 minutes to get started. Hopefully you were able to work efficiently with your team and at least get the main idea of that text figured out. Whatever you did not complete with your team is expected to be completed independently. Okay, so this assignment is due today, and you can complete that after your break during your work time. All right, so right now you're getting ready to take your 10 to 15 minute break. Then you are going to complete this assignment and turn it in before math at 10:30. So you have about an hour to get your break in and to get that work done You're going to be back on here for math at 10:30.